Our very own Sarah Eisen just finishing speaking with Fed Chair Powell, among other central bankers. Sarah, on a panel today where the headlines were coming. I don't see us getting back to 2% this year or next. That's one that jumped out to me, but there were many.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, good morning. Look, good afternoon, I should say, from Sintra and to New York. If you were wondering where the Fed is going next after they took a break from hiking after 10 straight hikes 2 weeks ago in June, they decided to take a break, didn't call it a pause, didn't call it a skip. And after 500 basis points of tightening, Chair Powell today made it pretty clear, and I think went a little farther than he did last week in congressional testimony and the week before in his news conference, in suggesting there's more work to do on the inflation fight and tightening policy. Listen.
If you look at the data over the last quarter, what you see is stronger than expected growth, a tighter than expected labor market, and higher than expected inflation. So that tells us that although policy is restrictive, it may not be restrictive enough, and it has not been restrictive for long enough.
So the question is, how are they thinking of future rate hikes? The market is pricing in more coming in July. I asked him about the path from here. Maybe in every other meeting hike.
We've not decided that. So no, the only thing we decided was not to raise rates at the June meeting. We have not made a decision to go to that. It may work out that way. It may not work out that way. But I wouldn't take, moving at consecutive meetings off the table.
So really what you heard there, Scott, is that he did not, and he volunteered this information, rule out consecutive hikes in July and in September, which is where the market is starting to go. Also didn't really rule out the every other hike, but did make it clear that despite the fact that they paused, they're far from done. He also said, and you mentioned this on the inflation target, he revealed his own forecast in that dot plot, which is he doesn't expect us to get back to 2% target next year, thinks it'll take till 2025. So if you're thinking the Fed's going to be cutting rates, I don't know. He seems to suggest that they're going to have to be restrictive in these high rates for a long time.
Yeah, they'll have to stay up there for a while. Sarah, thank you. Good stuff. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Our Sarah Eisen in Portugal for us.